I want to see just how far you can push the human body.
You are going to sink like a stone.
You're not exactly the typical swimmer.
If I get caught in a tide, it could be 24 hours.
Just don't wrap, don't quit. And as long as I keep focusing on the process, I will eventually cross the Caribbean Sea. It's been a tough week, because in many ways, physically, I'm ready. So as soon as I arrived, I just wanted to go. But from a logistical point of view, an operation point of view, I've had to chat to everybody who has any expertise out at sea. No, I'll be going to Cuba. But I think that's come with its own challenges as well. A lot of people have been like, oh no, you're going the wrong way. You want to swim from, St Lucia and Martinique or Martinique, St Lucia. And even chatting to local people about the best tree. Because I found some driftwood and that's where we've been finding it. And people have just been laughing at me because that one won't float. This one, I'm like, well, I don't know. At the end of the day, I was just like, look, I'm ready. Just give me a date. Give me a time and point me in the direction you want me to swim, and I will just swim until I hit a shore.
The guys at the Body Holiday provided the boats, the crew, and the food for the crossing. I just needed to get my mind focused. We always knew setting off from St Lucia would make for a tough start to the swim, but if I could get through it and make it to Martinique waters, the current should pull me to the shore. That was the plan anyway.
If this current pushes me too far to the Caribbean side, is there a chance I might miss Martinique? And if so, what happens?
That's where the body's there.
There's definitely a chance.
Really? Yeah, and what, is it just a case, just put your head down and try and get back on?
So a better option is to basically go the way that you don't really want to go, which is completely out to sea. So if we use this point here, we keep Martinique actually on your left rather than looking at it.
Do you know what? I feel really good. I feel, I had a good sleep. A lot of pudding last night, good pudding. we were just saying, I think maybe 2 hours in, 4 hours in, I'll probably know if I've got it. I'm prepared for 24, but then even if it takes longer than 24, but I've done 24, I'll be like, I might as well just do a bit more just to finish it. First 5K, the hardest 5K I've ever swum, but it was on the Atlantic side, which is the roughest compared to the Caribbean seaside, and it was just, also because it was dark, so it was basically like swimming but getting punched in the face, but you can't see where you're getting punched in the face from. There's just every angle. And then the sole goal of that first 5K was to basically swim against the current as hard as I could, so I could then cut back in and head for Martinique.
Finish that off.
Once I got through the first few hours, I started to find my rhythm. 8 hours in, things were going really well. My pace was good. As a team, we all felt very confident, and we were actually ahead of schedule.
Cheers.
Like the waves be like this all the way through.
We're about halfway there.
It was around the 12-hour mark that things went a little bit sour. Vincent shouted at me, he said, "You've got to get out of this current." I swam for 3 hours, and I remember popping my head up and I looked at Vincent and I said, "How are we doing? That must be good progress, right?" And he looked at me and then he looked at the floor and he was just like, you've not moved for 3 hours.
It was about 4 or 5 attempts. Just put my head down and just went for it. There was nothing pretty about my stroke at all. I just tried to muscle my way towards the beach. And then you pop my head up 20 minutes later, where we at? And you're back, Ross, you're going backwards. The ocean was just kind of like teasing you, it let me so close. The captain, and he was just like, the current always brings you in, like I was gonna get you to that point and it was just gonna bring you in. But for some reason, it just wasn't. It was pushing you back to St Lucia. It never does that. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you started to see the lights of Martinique, but then I could actually make out the houses. Like, it was that close.
So as a team, they just said it cannot be done under these conditions. You know, we have to pull you out. So reluctantly and with just such a heavy heart, I got back on the boat.
I don't know what hurts more, my shoulders, my neck, my tongue, my eyes, or just like my heart, because it was like, I was so close.
This guy have a lot of guts. Yeah. He did good, honestly.
The main thing that I learned was that there's only so far you can go on fitness and athleticism alone. You also need an amazing team around you, and I had that. So we all went back to the hotel and gathered for a team briefing to work out the next steps.
Yeah. Keep going for a bit more.
And then let it bring you in a bit closer to us.
In that room, we agreed we all needed to give it just one more go. The big difference this time, we'd go in the opposite direction, from Martinique to St Lucia, in the hope that we could take advantage of some of the favourable currents coming into St Lucia.
It's become a team. Strongman swimming has become a team sport in St Lucia. Dessert. Done. This second time around, there's such a mutual understanding. And I know that they will sight, feed, and do everything they can from the boat. I will swim as hard as I can for them. Just off to the start point that we picked out yesterday, the beach that's closest to St Lucia from Martinique. I don't really want to take in any of the sights. I just want to get going.
Although my face looked battered and my eyes were still a little bit red, my body felt great. I was ready, shoulders were just keen to go again. I was absolutely ready for round two.
This is just this is it. Like, the last one, tick, training session done. That's all I'm putting it down as. This is just something that we, the team need to do.
Yeah, off to a good start. This first leg is going well. Current ETA is going to be about 9:30 p.m. if Ross holds his current pace, and his current speed is about 1.2 knots. So it's definitely off to a good start. And very encouraging is the fact that the currents are not pushing him away, and he's managing to hold his line.
That's quite nice.
Yeah, so right now he's still in a bit of a rough patch. The pace has slowed quite a lot. Probably just about halfway or just over halfway, but progress is really slow. There's not much we can do right now. He just kind of has to kind of knuckle down, and we have to hope that the currents ease in the next patch of water.
Without the tree, I can swim 12-minute, 13-minute 1Ks pretty comfortably. And out there, I had my head down for like half an hour, and then I popped up and looked on my watch, and I'd done 200 meters.
When you think that you have Mother Nature figured out, you think you now understand the laws of the ocean, And then she just completely flips the rules of the game on you, and I could just feel the current pulling me away from St Lucia, and I was just like, you're absolutely killing me, you know, not again.
If he carries on this current path, he's actually going to miss St Lucia. So he was on track for St Lucia, and now he's getting pushed wide. So he really needs to try and straighten up and head back, but the currents are just really tough right now.
I think I knew I wasn't going to make it around the 6 hour mark, and I just thought, do you know what? I'm just going to appreciate this as much as I can. The dolphins, I could still hear them. And I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to keep swimming. I'm just going to push this as far as I can until my body gives up. I'm going to go down swimming until I get pulled out. The decision to stop was really taken out of my hands. It all happened so quickly. My body was just shutting down. And then by the time the decision was made to pull me out, I mean, I got back on the boat and I was just seeing stars, and in my limbs, I was just sort of tingly. Just again, my heart hurt more than my legs and my arms and everything. It was a slow ride back to St Lucia.
When I set the parameters of that final strongman swim, I was like 40 kilometers with a 100-pound tree. That's crazy. I think if I'd have actually done that 40-kilometer swim with relative ease, I don't know if I would have really learned all that much. Certainly about myself, certainly about the human body. You know, Mother Nature and the sea kind of bounced me from the Atlantic to the Caribbean, back, forth, through currents in my face, 5-foot waves. And after 2 attempts, I kind of went, oh, you know, that's what's possible. It just shifted completely what I thought was possible. So to come back to the original brief of strongman swimming, I just want to see where the limits of the human body is. Ironically, by not touching the beach and swimming further, I actually fulfilled that. And certainly going forward, you know, 100 kilometers with a 100-pound tree, it now seems tame, as crazy as that seems.
You are going to sink like a stone.
You're not exactly the typical swimmer.
If I get caught in a tide, it could be 24 hours.
The plan is to put you in some pretty dark places.
This guy have a lot of guts.
This is the biggest challenge I've ever done.